Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be exploring this collection of poems.
Okay.
It's called Angels, Love, and Light by John T. Goltz.
Interesting.
Now, you might be thinking poems about angels.
Yeah.
But trust me, this isn't like your typical Hallmark greeting card stuff.
Okay.
John T. Goltz, actually, he's the co-founder and vice president of the Love Foundation.
Oh, wow.
And he uses poetry to kind of explore these really profound ideas about, like, the human experience and how it connects to something bigger, you know, the spiritual realm.
I see.
And it's fascinating how he uses simple language, but it's very evocative, you know, to create these really vivid images.
Yeah.
And these images, they kind of stay with you long after you're done reading.
That's cool.
Like in the poem Angels All Around,
Okay.
he describes angels showering us with love and filling our lives with beauty.
Beautiful.
But he's not just talking about fluffy wings and halos.
Right.
He digs into what that angelic love represents, like a sense of protection.
Guidance.
Yeah.
Even a playful joy.
Oh, wow.
And it makes you think about how we might experience that kind of love in our own lives.
Right.
Maybe through self-compassion.
Yeah.
Or connecting with something larger than ourselves.
I like that.
Yeah. And it seems like he's suggesting that maybe those angelic qualities aren't so far removed from our own human capacity for love and kindness.
I see what you mean.
Right. And that idea of like angelic presence, it comes up again and again in the collection, like in poems like Hello, Angels, Are You There? And Angel Visit.
Yeah.
He paints these really relatable scenes of angels showing up in everyday moments, you know, just offering support and a sense of peace.
Wow.
But then in the angel piece, he takes it a step further.
Oh.
And he explores this idea of finding peace within ourselves.
Oh.
It's like he's saying, hey, maybe those angels are there to guide us.
But ultimately, the peace that we seek, it comes from within.
Oh, that's a good point.
What do you think about that connection?
I think that's really interesting how he weaves together like the external and internal aspects of experiencing peace. He's not saying that we shouldn't, you know, seek support or guidance from outside sources.
Right.
But that true peace comes from cultivating that stillness within ourselves. And I think that's a theme that resonates across many spiritual traditions.
Yeah.
It's this idea that we have this inner sanctuary, this wellspring of peace that we can access through practices like meditation or connecting with nature.
I love how you brought up those practices because he actually touches on them in poems like The Graceful Willow and The Gift. It's like he's giving us a roadmap for how to tap into that inner peace.
Right.
Like he talks about finding stillness in nature, being present in the moment, practicing gratitude, all these things that can help us to quiet the mind and connect with that deeper part of ourselves.
Right.
And it's not just about seeking peace for ourselves, right?
Yeah.
There's this strong emphasis on self-acceptance and embracing our authentic selves.
Right.
And then that ripples outward into our interactions with the world.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
So he has a whole series of poems that delve into this theme of self-discovery, like to know thyself, patience, our true nature, being me.
Interesting.
And each one explores a different facet of that journey.
Right.
And he's encouraging us to let go of limiting beliefs and embrace who we truly are.
Right.
It's almost like he's saying, hey, once you find that inner peace and acceptance, then you can really start to shine your light out into the world.
That's beautiful.
And speaking of light, there's this really fascinating poem called The Angel of Gold, where he describes gold as precipitated sunshine woven into the earth by an angel.
That's interesting.
What did you make of that imagery?
You know, at first glance, it might seem a bit whimsical.
Yeah.
But I think when you consider the symbolic associations of gold, like light, warmth, purity, even a kind of spiritual illumination. It starts to kind of align with the broader themes of the book.
Yeah.
I mean, remember, he sees love as this transformative force.
Yeah.
A source of healing and connection.
Right.
So perhaps he's using gold as a symbol for that inner light, that potential for radiance that we all carry within us.
Wow, I never thought about it that way.
Yeah.
It's like he's saying we all have this inner gold, this capacity for love and light that's just waiting to be unearthed.
Exactly. And maybe those conscious acts of kindness that he talks about are a way of refining that goal, of allowing it to shine through in our interactions with the world. And he's not just talking about grand gestures, but those small everyday acts of love and compassion that can have a ripple effect on those around us.
So it's not just about finding that inner light, but also sharing it with others.
Exactly. And that's where his message really starts to resonate on a deeper level. It's not enough to just cultivate these qualities within ourselves. We have a responsibility to express them, to embody them in our actions and interactions with the world.
That's such a powerful idea. It's like he's calling us to be those angels in the world, those beacons of love and light. But it's not about being perfect or putting on a show. It's about being authentically ourselves, embracing our flaws and letting that inner radiance shine through.
I love that.
And that authenticity is something that he emphasizes throughout the collection. In poems like To My Beloved and I Am, he talks about the importance of self-love and acceptance. It's about recognizing our inherent worthiness, regardless of our achievements or external validation. It sounds like he's encouraging us to embrace our own unique journey, to find that love and light within ourselves and let it guide our path. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts on how he connects this to the broader human experience. You know, he has poems about relationships, about facing challenges, about finding meaning in life. How do those themes kind of fit into this overall message of love and light?
Well, he seems to view these challenges and experiences as opportunities for growth. As ways of refining that inner gold we were talking about.
So picking up where we left off, it seems like Goltz views those challenges and those difficult experiences as opportunities for growth. And I'm really intrigued by how he tackles those themes in poems like New World and Separation. He doesn't shy away from like the darker aspects of human experience, does he?
Not at all. In New World, he talks about the grief and self-inflicted pain that we often experience. It's this powerful reminder that we're all part of this human journey. And sometimes that journey takes us through some pretty tough terrain.
And he even goes as far as to say that we often create our own suffering by getting caught up in these silly games that make the ego strong. It's a pretty bold statement, but it makes you think about the ways we might be contributing to our own unhappiness, you know, by clinging to these ego-driven desires or fears.
It's that classic idea of the ego as a source of suffering. You know, something that many spiritual traditions address. But what's interesting is that Goltz doesn't just point fingers or offer platitudes. He provides a pathway forward. He says, the place to start is in the heart and your feelings deep within. To love yourself and honor self is the best place to begin. It's like saying, hey, we all mess up. We all get caught in those ego traps. But the key is to come back to the heart, to that place of self-love and compassion.
That really resonates with me.
It's
so easy to get caught up in the external world and comparing ourselves to others, in striving for things that don't ultimately bring us lasting happiness. But his words remind us that the real journey is an inward one. It's about cultivating that love and acceptance for ourselves, even with all our imperfections.
And I think that's a crucial foundation for everything else he talks about, for experiencing true peace, for connecting with others authentically, for making a positive impact on the world. He emphasizes this interconnectedness in separation, where he writes, what we have within ourselves is what we then give out, and what it is that we give out will return to us, no doubt.
It's that law of cause and effect. The idea that our inner state ripples outward into the world, shapes our experiences. So if we want to create a more loving and peaceful world, it starts with cultivating those qualities within ourselves first.
He's suggesting that we become conscious creators of our own reality, both individually and collectively. And that's a pretty empowering idea.
It is.
It's not about being passive victims of circumstance, but actively choosing to embody the qualities we want to see reflected in the world.
And it's not just about positive thinking or wishful thinking. He's talking about real, tangible action. He says, I do my part within my sphere to maintain harmony. To give up pride and ego has made me truly free. It's about showing up in the world with an open heart. With a willingness to let go of those ego-driven impulses that create separation and suffering.
And he acknowledges that it's a journey. A process of continuous growth and refinement.
He
writes in, I am striving for perfection, of which great masters often speak. It is the light within and the truth therein, and real freedom that I seek. He's not presenting himself as some enlightened guru who has it all figured out.
Right.
He's right there in the trenches with us.
Yeah.
Striving to embody those qualities of love and light.
That makes him so much more relatable, doesn't it?
It does.
It's not about achieving some unattainable state of perfection,
right?
But about embracing the journey, the ups and downs, the stumbles and triumphs. And it's a journey we're all on together.
Yeah.
He reminds us in New World that people really want a peaceful life of joy.
Right.
And he encourages each of us to do their quiet part to share the love that they employ.
That's beautiful.
It's a beautiful call to action, isn't it?
It really is. And it speaks to the mission of the Love Foundation,
right?
Which he co-founded. Their focus on inspiring unconditional love aligns perfectly with the themes we've been exploring.
Yeah.
The power of self-love, the interconnectedness of all beings, the transformative potential of love itself.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected, that we're all part of this grand tapestry of life.
Yeah.
And our individual choices, even the seemingly small ones,
right,
can contribute to creating a more loving and harmonious world.
Absolutely. He's reminding us that love is not just a feeling. It's a force and energy that can heal, that can inspire, that can create real change.
Yeah.
And it starts with each of us choosing to embody that love in our thoughts, words, and actions.
It's like planting seeds of love and light. And those seeds can grow into something truly beautiful.
Yeah.
It's a powerful message, and one that I think we could all benefit from reflecting on.
I agree. As we move into the final part of our deep dive, I'd encourage listeners to consider how these themes resonate with their own experiences.
Okay.
How can we cultivate a greater sense of self-love? How can we embrace our challenges as opportunities for growth? How can we share our own unique gifts and talents with the world?
Those are great questions to ponder.
Yeah.
And I'm excited to explore some more of the specific poems that offer practical guidance and inspiration for putting these ideas into action.
Okay.
Let's take a short break and then come back to delve into those powerful verses.
Welcome back to a deep dive into angels, love, and light. I'm ready to explore some of those practical insights that you mentioned.
And there's one poem, The Magic Breath, that I'm particularly curious to hear your thoughts on. Goltz describes breath as this pure life essence.
Okay.
This source of healing and comfort.
Right.
He even calls it an inside-out hug.
Wow.
What a powerful image.
It really is, and it speaks to the profound simplicity of his message.
Yeah.
You know, we often search for complex solutions or external sources of healing.
Right.
But he reminds us that we have this incredible tool right within us, our breath, this constant source of life energy, this anchor to the present moment.
And he's not just talking about like the physical act of breathing, right? He seems to be suggesting something deeper, something almost spiritual. He talks about breath connecting us to heaven above.
Oh, wow.
Which makes me think about the role of breath in many spiritual traditions as a bridge between the physical and the divine.
Exactly. In practices like meditation and yoga.
Right.
The breath is often used as a focal point for calming the mind, for connecting with that deeper sense of self. And what's interesting is that even science is starting to catch up with this ancient wisdom.
Right.
There's a growing body of research on the benefits of conscious breathing.
Yeah.
For reducing stress, improving focus, even enhancing emotional well-being.
So it's not just a feel-good idea.
Yeah.
There's real power in paying attention to our breath.
Absolutely.
And I love how Goltz makes it so accessible. He's not saying you have to go on a silent retreat or become a yogi master to tap into this power.
Right.
He's simply encouraging us to become more aware of our breath.
Yeah.
To use it as a source of comfort and connection in everyday moments.
And I think that's a key takeaway from his work as a whole.
Yeah.
He's taking these profound spiritual concepts, angels love light, and grounding them in our everyday experience.
Right.
He's showing us how to integrate these ideas into our lives in practical, tangible ways.
It's like he's giving us permission to embrace our spirituality without getting bogged down in dogma or ritual.
Right.
It's about finding that connection to something larger than ourselves through simple acts of love, kindness, and self-care.
And I think that's particularly relevant in today's world, where there's so much noise and distraction.
Right.
His poetry offers this sense of peace, of grounding, of returning to the essentials.
Absolutely. And speaking of grounding, there's another poem, I believe in you.
Okay.
That really struck me. It's almost like a pep talk from the universe, reminding us of our inherent worth and potential.
Right.
He acknowledges the doubts and fears that we all face.
Yeah.
But he encourages us to trust ourselves, to believe in our unique gifts and talents.
It's a powerful message of empowerment.
Yeah.
And it ties back to that idea of self-love that we discussed earlier.
Right.
He's reminding us that we each have a unique contribution to make. And the world needs what we have to offer.
He says, your heart contains the wisdom and the part you are to play, but you must be in the moment, or your thoughts may try to sway.
It's a call to mindfulness.
Right.
To quiet that inner critic and listen to the wisdom of our hearts.
And he reminds us that we have support on this journey.
Yeah.
He writes, you have got a destiny and a plan to be fulfilled. You will know it when you do it because your feelings will be thrilled.
Oh, wow.
He's encouraging us to trust our intuition, to follow those sparks of joy and inspiration that light us up from within.
It's like he's saying, hey, you are capable of amazing things.
Right.
Don't let fear or self-doubt hold you back. The world needs your light.
What an incredible message to leave us with.
I couldn't agree more. And I think it's a message that each of us can carry with us long after we finish reading his poetry.
Yeah.
It's a reminder to be kind to ourselves, to embrace our unique journey, to shine our light brightly, and to trust that we are exactly where we need to be.
So as we wrap up our deep dive into angels, love, and light, I want to thank you for sharing your insights and for helping us to unpack these profound ideas.
It's been my pleasure.
And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this journey of exploration.
Yeah.
I encourage you to seek out John T. Goltz's work and see what resonates with you. And remember, you are a being of love and light.
Yes.
Embrace that truth. Share your gifts with the world and keep shining brightly.
Until next time, may your journey be filled with love, light, and a deep connection to your own inner wisdom.